If you're in real estate right now, you definitely know the feeling. It's like there's constant pressure, a ton of uncertainty, and just a lot of noise. But what if all that noise isn't just noise? What if it's actually a signal? In this explainer, we are breaking down some incredible insights from industry leader Michael Valdes about how to navigate this market of change and actually come out on top.
Okay, so first things first, let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room. It feels pretty chaotic out there, right? And it seems like everyone is looking for some kind of clear path forward.
You know, this quote from Michael Valdes just hits the nail on the head. That feeling of being totally overwhelmed by all the information and the uncertainty, it's real. And believe me, it's a shared experience across the entire industry. So what exactly is creating all this static? Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm. You've got these huge industry consolidations happening. There's mounting legal pressure that's changing the whole game. Then there's just general economic uncertainty that makes everybody, a little nervous. And on top of all that, business models are shifting right under our feet. It is a lot to handle, whether you're an individual agent or a team leader.
But here's where we're going to make a little pivot. What if we're looking at all of this the wrong way? The key insight here is to try and reframe what's happening. See it not as random chaos, but as part of a much bigger, more predictable pattern.
So let's ask ourselves this question. Are all these challenges just random disruptions, or are they actually signals pointing to a much larger shift? A shift that you can actually prepare for?
On the one hand, you've got the headlines, and they are just screaming volatility and chaos. But Michael Valdes offers a totally different perspective. He says, look, this isn't chaos, it's a cyclical correction. The market is just doing what markets have always done. It's a pattern. And the great thing about patterns is that they can be understood and navigated.
And this is where the hidden opportunity really comes into play. While so many people are hesitating, there is a massive amount of capital just sitting on the sidelines, literally waiting for the right moment to flood back into the market. This isn't a dying market. It's a market that's coiling up like a spring, just waiting to pop.
So this brings us from just understanding the market to actually taking action. If all that capital is about to come pouring back in, how do you position yourself to catch that wave? Well, the answer is a proactive strategy for what's coming next.
It's a plan called Prepare for Boomsday. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's memorable. This is not about hunkering down and just waiting for the storm to pass. It's about actively building the boat right now that will rise with the coming tide.
So how do you actually do it? Well, it breaks down into 3 really clear, actionable steps. Number 1, strengthen your brand. Who are you? What do you stand for? Number 2, deepen your value. What's the unique expertise that only you bring to the table? And number 3, strategically position yourself right now to go out and capture market share when things inevitably speed up again.
And this right here is the crucial point. You absolutely cannot wait for the boom to start planning for it. By the time the headlines announce that the market is back, the people who are going to win will have already been preparing for months. The time to plan is now.
All right, let's talk about one of the biggest sources of that noise we mentioned before, consolidation. A lot of agents see this as a huge threat, but it could actually be your single biggest opportunity to stand out from the crowd. The reality is pretty clear. The industry is definitely moving toward having fewer but much larger brokerage players, some operating on a massive, even global scale. And yeah, that can feel really intimidating for an individual agent. But here's the fundamental truth about real estate that will never, ever change. At the end of the day, the consumer doesn't choose a company logo. They choose the individual person they know, the person they like, and the person they trust. They choose you. This is your secret weapon. As the giants get bigger, they often become more generic. But you can be specific. You can carve out a clear niche that you can absolutely own. Build a personal brand that's recognizable and authentic to you. Clearly communicate what makes you different. And use the amazing tools we have today, like social media and AI, to level the playing field and get your message out there. Okay, let's bring all this home. As we look to the future, with all this change swirling around, what's the one thing that actually stays the same? What's the real core of a long-term, successful career in this business? Well, first, let's just anchor ourselves in an optimistic outlook for a second. Michael Valdes is really confident that we're heading back toward a seller's market. And that shift is going to stimulate not just our industry, but the whole economy. The tide is definitely turning.
And here it is. This is the ultimate takeaway. Business models will change, big companies will merge, and technology is always going to evolve. But the one constant, the single thing that secures your future, is the real, tangible value you provide to your client. That right there is your North Star.
So, look, this shift isn't a question of if, it's a question of when. The only real question left is the one you have to answer for yourself. What are you doing right now to make sure you're the one who stands out when it happens?